Hello folks, welcome to DCS World. I'm going to take you for a tour around the brand new, which isn't so brand new anymore, but it's still fairly new for DCS, South Atlantic map, which covers Port Stanley, Chile and Argentina. And I think the whole map from one end to the other is about 1,700 miles long. It's one of the biggest maps ever for DCS World, and it's brimming with detail. And not only that, we're running ultra settings. Look at this. Everything pinned to the right. I must be mad, quite honestly. Apart from heat blur. Can't stand that in VR, obviously. But yeah, at the moment we're getting 45 to 50 frames per second. I'm going to show you that now. In a sec. Because I know how to do that now, because I'm really clever. Not. I just checked the DCS forums, and here we are. So you can see we're getting a very respectable 45 to 50 frames per second. Anyway, let's go. So this map is brand new for DCS. And it's beautiful. And I'm going to take you on a bit of a tour. The best I can anyway, because it's so huge, I'd probably have to do a series on it. But we'll start by showing you some of the buildings around this map, which are very bespoke actually. Now I have to say the texture resolution isn't the best I've seen, but considering how huge this map is, I think that's probably a design choice made by the developer Razbam. So here we are, look. These are some of the buildings you'd expect. And we're touring in the F16 simply because we can see a lot more in a shorter amount of time. And that's, otherwise I'd probably use the Apache. So right now we're down to 40 frames per second, which, considering I've got everything maxed and I'm recording in 4K, is pretty impressive to say the least. I really like the variety of the objects and the buildings. Very crisp and clear there. Anyway, we'll get back onto our planned heading. And what I've done as well is added in quite a few assets. Now, unlike our last mission, where it was basically a mass dogfight, a bloodbath, to be honest, in this particular, well, mission, it's going to be a peacetime mission. So we're not going to be engaging anything. So first thing I'm going to do is jettison all the things I don't need and just enjoy this beautiful landscape that is the South Atlantic map. I think the DCS crowd has needed this for a long time now. There's plenty of opportunities for naval warfare, and let's be honest, Chile and Argentina haven't had the best relationship in the past, so there's sort of opportunities for I guess fictional conflicts. You can perhaps even do some sort of bombing run on Port Stanley. Imagine a high fidelity Vulcan in DCS. Just Flight, are you watching this? Please. Anyway, right now we're getting 50 frames per second. I can't believe that. 50 frames per second with ultra settings in DCS. Anyway, I'm going to shut up saying that now, but I am amazed by that, quite honestly. The weather at the moment is looking very fair, very nice. And that's what we want for this VFR tour in style. So there's quite a lot of biomes with this particular scenery, and you know, these real high peaks, mountains, cities. It's quite a wilderness actually. But I will say that this is in early access, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to improve over time. Like for instance here, there's not a lot going on really, not many buildings. Bear in mind we've got everything dialed to ultra, so if there were any objects, we'd definitely be seeing them right now. And I have to say again that the resolution of the textures whilst very, you know, decent, they're okay, they're not as sharp as other DCS packages. Nice river running down there. Loving this sort of haze as well. Tell you what, the weather effects in DCS are superb these days. Right, this is our first waypoint coming up now. Now, I know I kind of said I'll give you a tour, but this is going to be a bit of a rubbish tour in some respects because I don't know anything about this map, to be honest, in terms of the geography. But I did plot some sort of waypoints of where I thought would be quite interesting to look at. Right, let's go a bit lower here. And we'll have a look at our first waypoint. So you can see when we get really low down, we've got these very nice looking trees and shrubs, just making the whole environment look very nice. Oh man, I love this bird so much. And then we've got this open expanse of water, plenty of water around these islands, particularly around this map in general, really. Let's just shoot up a minute and see what it looks like from, say, 20,000 feet. Here we go. Afterburner is the light. Oh. I'm telling you folks, I know I say this all the time, but DCS, you've got to try it. It's unbelievable. Oh, let's be careful with our fuel here. You see the coastline there looking very nice, and that is going to be improved. That looks beautiful down there, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And if you think about what Razbam's doing here, they're playing the long game with this map, because I imagine this is something that's going to really be taken advantage of over the coming, not just the months, but years into the future as well. So basically this is where we're at the moment. We've taken off from Rio Grande and we're now heading to this airfield here. We're going to head up this way. You can see how the sort of terrain is very varied. 620 knots. Just slow down a bit. Yeah, so that's interesting. When you get really low down, I'm talking sort of like 1,600 feet. That's when you start to see all the shrubs and trees. Even with ultra settings, you won't see that any higher than that. Which again, I'm sure is a design choice for the developers. Here we go. Oh, feel that kick in there. So just a very simple looking little airfield here. Carefully, we're pulling 9 Gs right now. And you might be surprised actually, because I can talk normally when I'm pulling 9 Gs, and that is because I'm a trained fighter pilot. Not everyone can do that, but I'm able to talk normally whilst pulling a crazy amount of Gs. Just in case you're wondering. Beautiful. Oh, there's something over there. Let's have a quick nosy over there. We'll slow down a bit again, just to have a look at some of these objects. I mean, can you imagine the developers out there and all the guys and even girls maybe, are there any girls who play DCS that want to create missions and campaigns? It's a huge sandbox now. I have to be a little bit careful here and be realistic, because I am used to, let's be honest, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that has the most incredible, beautiful scenery you've ever seen in your life. So I have to be measured when I think about what I'm looking at here, because compared to that sim, it's still not that impressive. But considering DCS hasn't really had a map this huge before, I can see why there's a lot of excitement in the community. And it's only going to get better from now. Oh, look at that beautiful bird fly. Anyway, I'll meet you over there at the next waypoint as we fly over this huge body of water. Right, so we're closing in here on Punta Arenas. I've probably said that completely wrong. It looks like there's a bit of a town here. Again, we'll check it out. I love the colours of the buildings. I know I keep saying that, but they really do stand out with the scenery. Looks like there's a port there as well. Yeah, this is definitely a larger area. This might even be a city, actually. Look how the objects are being drawn in. Oh, wow. No, this looks really nice. There's a lot of detail here, that's for sure. Just waking up the local residents. Interesting how our frames have now dropped to 40 frames per second over this area here. I'm really looking forward to seeing DCS utilising multi-core technology. That is coming. Like that, look at that. You see there the waves. Well, that's baked in on the scenery, I can't tell. But yeah, that is really nice detail right there. If you get really low like this, you can see every window, every little detail there. Even, look at that, you saw there, what was it, a football pitch or something? Oh, this would be great to tour around this area in the Apache. Right, let's crack on. It's not every day you get a chance to use an F16 as a tour guide. And over there, it looks like there's an airfield as well. I missed it. Where is it? Yeah, this is looking beautiful here. Very, very detailed. And I have heard that this particular map is very hefty on performance. Another reason why I thought I'd use it as my sort of test bed for the ultra settings mode. Ah, there we go. I've got eyes on the airfield. Let's slow down once again and get a good look at this. Oh, very nice actually. That looks like more of an international airport there. Coastline's gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, that's very nice. Right, now this is as good as any map I've seen. This area here. Beautiful. And you're going to expect really some variations in quality because of the huge scale of this particular map. But that was beautiful, that. Very impressed. That was my favourite area so far. So we're going to head north now and see what we can find. So we're now going to head into Chile. And this is going to be where we're going to finish. In fact, there's a VRR there. I might use that. And that should be a very nice place to finish this particular video. Please do let me know in the comments if you'd like to see like a second part to this tour and which aircraft you'd like to see as well. But I can see how the mountains are starting to raise now. And again, it just feels a bit different. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Scotland or somewhere, with a sort of huge expanse of terrain. It's very green and pleasant. But as you can see there, hopefully on the video, the mountains are starting to rise up, so I'm looking forward to checking them out. We need to be a bit careful with fuel because we are getting quite low, but I'm hoping we're going to be able to make it. Otherwise we're going to have to find a tanker, which will be fun for you, not for me. So we're on our final leg here, guys, and we've only got about 2,400 pounds of fuel, so I'm just taking it easy with the throttle. But this is looking very spectacular, but I must admit our frames have taken a hit again. We're down to about 35, 40 frames per second now. I think a lot of that's down to all these trees. There's tons of them everywhere, as you can imagine, with ultra settings. I just had to try it, you know, why not? If you've got a 4090 machine, you've got to just see what it can do. And I must admit, I'm blown away yet again with the fact that I can run DCS, you know, with ultra settings. I've never done it before, folks. It's the first time. And yet, even at sort of 35, 40 frames per second, there's no stuttering. Now, that is a beautiful scene right there. That is gorgeous. Oh wow. And now for the grand finale. Look at these beautiful mountains. This is where the South Atlantic map really shines, in my opinion, is the scenery and the sheer expanse of the terrain and the different sort of varieties of it. Like the snow-capped mountains over there. I would love to explore them a bit more, but I am conscious of my fuel situation. But we'll just have a look over here and do a bit of a wide turn for our final leg. And here we go. This. Now the texture quality here on these mountains is very sharp. So it's interesting how they've definitely made some sort of decisions during making this map, and probably a lot of that is down to the limitations of DCS. But where it counts is where it looks the most beautiful. This is gorgeous. Very, very nice. And actually quite comparable to MSFS. That valley down there, wow. And the river running right through it. Oh, do you know what? I just feel like we're just getting into it. And already we're coming to an end with this flight. So please do let me know if you'd like a part 2 of checking out the South Atlantic map by Razbam. And I think they've done a great job. You know, overall, even though it's a little bit rough around the edges in places, considering the sheer scale of it, I think it's a fantastic effort. And this is still early access. Anyway, let's come in for a landing and call this video done. Yeah, exactly. Bingo fuel. We really need to land. So again, another area of interest. And this is absolutely beautiful with the backdrop of those glaciers. This incredible snaking river, and then you've got this port there as well. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, folks. This is my favourite map so far. Again, look at that. That is gorgeous. Beautiful. Right, we've got £1,000 of fuel left, so I'm going to make a downwind because we are getting a little low, to say the least. Do you know, I remember once when I came back from a mission in the Hornet and I was going to land on the carrier and it was night time and I had like literally one attempt and then I ran out of fuel and I managed to make it down. I'm absolutely gutted I didn't record that. So remember folks, we are running the Reverb G2 at native resolution right now, recording upscale to 4K using ultra settings over the South Atlantic map in the F16. Talk about taxing my computer. But it's doing it really well, and this GPU, this combination of the 13900K with the 4090, it just doesn't seem to be fazed by anything I can throw at it. And this is the very first time I've ever seen DCS with ultra settings, and my god, done an awful lot beautiful. Well, I'm coming in a bit fast here. And this is where I've just remembered I haven't bound my brake yet. This is a new installation of DCS, so I may have to use the keyboard once you land. That was a little hard, that landing, but I'll take it. Just got to remember how to brake now. I totally forgot my brake binding. Yeah. Oops. I'll tell you what, it gives us a chance to look at the textures in really close detail. That was the reason why I did this. And yeah, I can confirm that the textures at this level is very nice. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now. Right, let's make it back to the airport for tea and scones.